Hey guys, so today I'm going to do just a little get ready with me. I'm going to do a summertime look with some products that I've probably not used in a little while and just a little talk through really. So I've moisturised my skin, and on my skin I've got the Murad City Skin SPF of 50. This one's got a slight tint to it and it's got Zinc Oxide in, which for me I need because my skin as I'm getting older is just prone to pigmentation. So I wanted something with Zinc Oxide in because that has kind of like light reflecting particles in it that bounce the light back off as opposed to absorbing light. And this one does have a slight tint to it, so when you put it on it just kind of very lightly evens out your skin tone. It is minimal, but it's there if you're somebody that doesn't want to wear anything on your skin. It is a little bit expensive. It's about £55 for 50ml, but I got it on Feel Unique, which currently have a free gift, so I got like a little spring package with it which was worth about £34. So it had a little eye cream in it, a skin hydrator and another SPF. So I'm going to hydrate my lips. I've got the Emile Cordon Cashmere-On lip pot. This one is number 72 COCO and it's kind of vanilla and coconut scented. It's beautiful. And they remind me of the lip balms you used to get when you was a kid because they're super glossy on the inside. It's expensive, but oh my god, so yummy. So even though I'm oily, I am going to use MAC Face and Body because not all of you are oily, and I do try to cater for tutorials that suit everybody, you know, not just suited to oily skin. Plus I can get away with wearing MAC Face and Body because I don't wear foundation all day long. I tend to only have makeup on for 3 to 4 hours of the day. For me, I can actually get away with wearing it as long as I powder through the centre of my face and I prep my skin accordingly. So the Face and Body foundation is a water-based foundation. So as it's water-based, if you're going to use a primer, you should be using a water-based primer. If you haven't seen my video, I will link it for you. It makes much more sense as to why a lot of foundations separate on your skin. You should be using a silicone-based primer with a silicone-based foundation and a water-based to water-based. So the Too Faced Hangover primer is a water-based primer. As you can see on there, it does say silicone-free. And also in that video I show you that if it doesn't state that it's silicone free, how to tell via the ingredients very quickly whether it's water based or silicone based. Now I'm only going to use a little bit of primer and I'm just going to use my fingers to put it on, but you can use a brush. So if you're using a silicone based primer, try not to use too much of it. I think people have a tendency to put too much on, and that's another reason why foundation tends to not last as long, is because you're applying too much. A little does go a long way. So really only use a very, very small amount. I tend to only put primer on the areas that I tend to get oily. I've got textured skin, which is getting better as I'm getting older. It's not as textured as it used to be, but with that I'm now going to start getting wrinkles because I'm in my 30s, so I'm sure that's going to happen. So I've got quite a few different face and body foundations. I've got N2, C1, C5, I've got some more in the cupboard, but I wasn't sure what colour I'm going to need. So the N colours are for pink undertones and the C colours are for cool undertones. Have to give them a really good shake before you use them. Oh, maybe not vigorous. I prefer to wear more of a neutral undertone. I'm going to mix a warm and cool tone together, I think. Obviously you can just pop into MAC and get them to colour match you. So I'm just mixing that on the back of my hand. So Face and Body is a really liquidy foundation. It's kind of like one of those staples in your kit if you're a makeup artist, because you can use it for bridal. It's just a really lovely foundation. It's got no SPF in it and it photos beautifully. So you don't get any flashback from it. It is really liquidy and a lot of people shy away from using it because they don't understand how it works. Once you start to work it into the skin, it starts to thicken. As soon as it starts to thicken, you'll feel like your hand can't move across your face, and it's so buildable. You want it to set in between each layer. I'd say it's definitely a medium coverage that you can build it up to. If you want that really sheer coverage, then apply it with either a duo fab brush. I'm not really a fan of applying it with a sponge because sponges tend to really soak up the product, and because it is quite liquidy, you kind of lose most of it in the sponge. I prefer to use my fingers because you get a bit more of a fuller coverage with it. You're not losing any of it into your fingers. All the product is staying on your skin. Also, by using the warmth of your hand, pressing it into the skin, it kind of becomes one with your skin as opposed to seeing the brush stroke marks and stuff, which you will get with a brush. That's a really good colour. So I mixed all three of those together to get a shade suitable to me, but again, you could just pop into MAC and get it colour matched to you. So this will give you quite a dewy finish. If you're oily, then you definitely want to powder, and you probably want to powder throughout the day as well. I like to set it with the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish natural powders. But if I wanted a little bit more coverage, then I might use my Becca Multitasking Perfecting Powders, which you've seen me use so many times. If you're not happy with the coverage, you can just go in and spot conceal. It's great if you're going on holiday. It's water resistant for sure, and it's kind of like touch resistant. It's not going to rub off on your clothes. And make sure we've got no kind of like finger marks or stroke marks on my skin. I've got the new NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I've got two shades. I've got Light 1 Chantilly, which is going to be too light, and Macadamia in medium 1.5. So I think I'm going to need to mix the two because I'm probably going to be in between this. So when it comes to concealer, you can either use a concealer that matches your skin tone or just go one shade lighter for that brightening effect. So this concealer is high coverage and it's a comfortable matte finish, non-drying. And as we've got a dewy finish to the foundation, I don't want to add any more shine to my skin at this point. Ideally, I want something that's going to be a bit more matte. If you've got quite deep set eyes or heavy bags, only conceal the part of the area that kind of sinks inwards, because that's the part that's creating the dark crevice. You want to lighten that part. If you start lightening the bag itself, you're just making that more prominent. So you only want to target with a brush that particular line there. That's the part on you that is sinking inwards. If you lighten that, then it's going to make that part look like it's more prominent and make it look more flat in general. It's obviously an illusion. I like using my finger to apply concealer because the warmth from your skin helps to warm the product up. If it's cold, then it tends to be a bit thicker and that just sits on top of the skin and it just doesn't look as good. So if you apply it with your finger, it tends to warm it up and it's just a bit nicer. So the idea behind this concealer is that it's got a soft focus feel to it, so it kind of blurs your imperfections. So today is Saturday and it's actually IMAT's weekend here in London. Lots of you asked me if I was going and I said no, and then I changed my mind at the last minute and went along. It was really nice. I went with my friend Abby. Lots of stands there. It's definitely grown over the years. I didn't go last year and I don't think I went the year before that either. So it's nice to see lots of the brands that I work with. So I'm not going to set my face just yet. I'm going to do that at the end. I'm going to let everything settle in first. So to bronze up the skin, I'm going to use the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. It's got such a long name. But I'm going to use this because it's one of my favourites. Smells beautiful, but the drugstore don't let you down. They do have their own versions of it and some of them are really good. One of my favourites is the Bourjois Bronzing Primer. Smells lovely because it's got a slight chocolatey scent to it, and again it's kind of like, this is a bit more moussey than the Chanel one. I quite like it, it is lovely, and because it works a bit like a primer, it kind of gives you that soft focus feel to the skin, but it does leave a slight film to it. This one is by B. This is the Cassie Lomas, which is a makeup artist, and it's a whipped bronzer. Again, works in the same sort of way. I'm not going to pull that off because it'll probably come out. It's a little bit more liquidy, but very, very similar. Much more affordable than the Chanel one. So I like to use a duo fibre brush to apply this. This works best with creams, these kind of hairs. Also with a duo fibre brush, it doesn't pick up as much product, so you get a little bit more control in terms of layering the product as opposed to applying too much too soon. So the weather's really nice here in the UK at the moment. It is still only about 17 today, but my garden is like a sun trap, so it's really lovely. So when you apply this, you want to use it as a bronzer. So you want to go across the high points of the face where the sun would hit. You don't want to use it as a contour because it is too warm in colour for a contour. And because it's cream, we can apply this over the foundation because we've not set anything in place, and it just works really, really nice. I'm also going to take a little bit across the top of the nose because this is the area that we catch the sun. A little bit across the brows. I like to use what's left on the bristles to kind of work that in across the face. So I'm going to take this across top of the hairline as well and work that directly into where your hair is as well, because that's obviously a telltale sign when somebody's foundation or bronzer doesn't match the rest of their skin. So you want to work it right into your hairline. And just make sure you're only using what's left on the bristles because otherwise it's going to clump in the hair. So my face is always so much lighter than the rest of my body. I tend to use a 30 on my body and a 50 on my face, so my face just doesn't get as much colour, which I'm fine with because I'm happy to bronze it up. Safety first, girls, safety first. Or boys. We've worked that in. We're looking a bit more bronzed. Oh, let me show you my new bag. Wait there. I love this bag. Look what it says. This bag contains my face. So cool. I shared it on my Instagram because I absolutely love it. And my sister got one in green, like a really nice mint green, that said something about lashes because obviously she does eyelashes and brow tattooing. So I got this on Etsy and it was like £6 and it's huge. I'll link it in the description bar for you. Not sponsored, just worth sharing. So let's not forget the neck. The neck is the area that's always shaded by your chin, so it always stays super white. I'm going to take Hoola by Benefit and a big kabuki brush, dust that inside my hula, so I've got a little bit on there, and I'm just going to dust that over in a big swiping motion. We don't want too much on there, just a little bit. I've got the Cha Cha Tint by Benefit. This is a mango tinted lip and cheek stain. I think I'm going to play it safe and put it on my hand first. And I might use the Duo Faber brush to apply it. So we've got a little bit on there. I'm going to put it on the apples of the cheeks because I feel like that gives you that healthiest glow. So you've got to smile so you get these little rosy parts of your cheeks. It smells nice as well. Very subtle but nice. I like Benefit. Lovely. So it just gives you a really subtle flush of colour. And again, because we've not set the base, using a cream or a liquid over the top is fine because you haven't powdered anything, so you're not going to get a cakey mess. I'll put a little bit on my lip. I love a coral lip. I hope you're comfortable to wear. You can just put balm over the top of this. Okay, so I've got these new Bare Mineral Crystalline Glow products. I've got 2 of these, which are the highlighter sticks, and the Bare Minerals Crystalline Glow Bronzer and Highlighter Palette. This one is the Iridescent Quartz. This is stunning. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Let me just do a little bit on my hand for you. There you can see, it doesn't do it justice. With a cream, if it starts to move, you can just use your finger over the top to push it back in place. And I might use something over the top of this, so it might work as a nice base anyway, because if it doesn't set, then it's got something for the eyeshadow to stick to. Yeah, it's actually not coming out as iridescent as I expected, as it does on your arm. It could be this lighting. I could leave the room and in natural lighting it might really pick up. Some things don't always show up so well in studio lighting. So I recently received these 2 palettes from Laura Geller. They're both face palettes. Look at the colours. And the packaging is so pretty. Gorgeous. So these are the 2 palettes. I think I'm going to use this one here. So I'm going to use this, which is called Summer Solstice. It's a bronzer with a kind of gold shimmer through it. I'm going to use it on the eyes. Bring it in a little bit closer. So I'm going to work this over the lid. It's really pretty. And if you're like me, you don't want loads of shimmer on your face, and having something that's got a bit of an iridescent finish on your eyes is a nice way to sort of bring that summer glow to your skin, but without it being glowy and shimmery. So we're having our garden done at the moment. We're having AstroTurf put down because we've got a tiny kind of like triangular patch of grass out the back, and it's so small that it's not worth having turf because then we'll have to buy a lawnmower. And what's the point in having a lawnmower because it's so tiny? We've got nowhere to put the lawnmower, so we're doing AstroTurf, and Tommy's doing it all by himself. So he's busy outside, so there's a little bit of noise going on, and that'll be why. Hi. Yeah. Sure. So I'm using a fluffy brush, and I'm just blending that into the socket of the eye. I'm going to take the matte finish kind of taupey shade, and now I'm working this through the socket, pulling that upwards towards the eyebrow bone. So I'm off to Ibiza on Friday, and I'll be there until Sunday. So if you're going to be at Ocean Beach Party, DM me on Instagram, come say hi. Can you believe it? I'm actually in my 30s and I've never been to Ibiza. I lived in Cyprus when I was younger for a little bit. That was kind of my time of doing the clubs abroad and stuff. I never really fancied Ibiza. So I'm going back in with the taupey shade and just kind of redefining through the socket. You don't have to be too neat about this, you just want to sort of blend it out so we've got that kind of warm bronzy feel to the eye. This is one of those effortless looks that are really simple to do. You don't have to be too neat about it. I'm going to use the very tip of the bristles to run that colour underneath the lower lashes. So I didn't actually buy anything at IMAX yesterday. I was really good. Abby bought quite a few things. She got a couple of foundations and concealer, and she bought the Naked Heat palette by Urban Decay. I'm going to take a little bit of the taupe and just smoke that out a little bit. I went with the intention of not spending anything because I've got so much makeup, I don't need anything, and I've got no room for it. If you've seen my room tour, then you'll know that I shouldn't buy any more makeup, it's not necessary. So I'm going to take this goldy shade and I'm going to pop this on the inner corners of the eyes. I'm going to use a pencil brush to do this. And this is just going to give us that subtle highlight. I like these little face palettes. They're great if you're going on holiday and you want a little convenient palette to take away where you don't have to take away too much. I'm going to take Coffee Pencil by MAC and I'm going to run this along the lash line. And this is a really nice deep brown shade, and it's very neutral in tone. So it's quite nice to line your lashes with. I'm going to pull it out on the outer edge. This is optional if you've got hooded eyes and it doesn't work for you. All the steps are optional. So when you drag the brush across the kohl pencil, it's picking up the product, which is then going to allow you to just gently pull it out on the outer edge. I'm going to use that to tightline. You can either look down when you do it or blink onto it. Your eye kind of clenches around the top of it and it stops it from going any further, so it works as a nice guide. I'm also going to put that on the waterline. I think it just adds a really nice sort of soft smoky appearance to your eye. Okay, so I'm going to curl my eyelashes. This one is by ShowMe. I might just put in some individual lashes just to sort of give it a little bit of lift. I'm just coming out of the spring shed of lashes, so if you've recently lost yours, it's because we have a spring shed. I'm going to use the Benefit Bad Girl Bang mascara. If you haven't seen my review, go check it out. It's a great mascara. Yeah, so I've been having loads of bald patches in my eyelashes and they're only just going back through. So now I'm enjoying wearing mascara again. But for the last couple of weeks I've had to wear individuals to fill in those little gaps. Okay, so mascara is on. I'm going to quickly fill in my brows a little bit. I don't have tons of brows, so I wouldn't get away with just wearing a brow gel through them. I have to fill them in a little bit just to give them some shape. They're not the sparsest of brows, but they're not the best of brows either. I'm not going to fill them in on camera because I have a tutorial. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. So I'm just popping some Ardell individual lashes on the outer edge. And it's just going to subtly wing out that outer edge. When you're doing this eye, it's easy for you to lift over the top of your head and drop it into place. So much easier than trying to do it at this angle. Now I have a tutorial, if you haven't already seen it, on how to apply individuals, strip lashes, bottom lashes. I link it in every single video, so it's easy enough for you guys to find. And I'm popping about 4 of these on the outer edge. So these are the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural in Medium Plus and Light Plus. I'm going to use the Medium Plus. I'm going to set through the centre of my face. I'm going to use a little brush to do it so that I can be precise where I want it. And I'm going to pop that over the concealer, even though it's not moving. It's just a bit of extra security. I'm a massive fan of Freckles, I've told you this before. And I get quite freckly around this part of my nose. And hate putting foundation on it because you lose kind of that sun-kissed appearance to your skin because you lose your freckles, which only come up in the summer for most people. I found this amazing little product. It's tiny. It's called Freck. It's a little brown liquid that you put on top of your freckles and it kind of just replaces them. If you don't have freckles, you can create them using this and it gives the most natural finish. So natural that it might not even pick up perfectly on camera. This is the little bottle. And it comes with a tiny little brush on it that's so thin, but it's really flexible, as you can see. And it just allows you to put the little dots onto your face and then you just blend them in with either a brush or your finger. I'm going to use it on the places that I've already got freckles that are slightly dulled down because of the face and body foundation. So I'm going to just show you a few. You can do them in different shapes, different sizes, and then you use your finger to press them in. So as you can see, it's starting to give you that freckly appearance, which actually look like freckles as opposed to just dots on your face. It's super cute, I love it. So as you can see, it just gives you a freckly appearance, which makes you look like you're not wearing any foundation because your freckles are showing through. So I just think it's really lovely. Then lastly, I'm going to take a tiny amount of the new Royal Glow by Becca Cosmetics. I'm going to just enhance the inner corner. And maybe put a tiny bit under my eyebrow bone. It's a really pretty kind of gold, not quite like champagne pop, a little bit lighter, really pretty. So I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of the Urban Decay Quick Fix sort of misting spray. It smells like coconut, which is lovely. Yum. So that completes my summer skin makeup look. For me, it's the perfect summer look. The eyes aren't too much, the lips are very natural, the rest of your skin's very natural, with a nice sun-kissed glow, which doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to use the Chanel bronzer, but it's really simple to do, really easy to achieve, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Everything I used will be linked and listed in the description box. If you've got any tutorial requests, then leave them in the comment section below. I love to hear from you guys. I always do my best to reply to all your comments. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.